Have you remembered watching Mr. Bean as a kid? You always remembered the funny man, played by Rowan Atkinson, this very same guy who did Man vs. Bee and Johnny English. But there was also another secret you know about Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean in real life is actually a car lover. He has owned many different vehicles, from classic cars to the 1930s, 1990s, Japanese legends, German giants, and luxury supercars. But there was another vehicle that you don't actually remember. It's actually quite subtle. It's not a supercar, nothing flashy. It was a mundane family suburban vehicle, a 1978 Mini Cooper Mark IV 1000, and it was basically a well-known car at that time. It pretty much was the only vehicle in Rowan Atkinson's car collection that was actually a real-life vehicle. And guess what? The hapless voice actor who portrayed Mr. Bean actually drove one himself. This is the history of Mr. Bean's famous green Mini Cooper. So let's start with the basics of Mr. Bean's car. Mr. Bean's car is portrayed as a 1978 Mini Cooper Mark 1000, or should I say the Mark IV 1000. It was pretty much the Mark IV generation of the Mini Cooper, thus making it one of the oldest Mini Coopers. This car was already 57 years old. And guess what? The car that you basically see is nothing very flashy. It wasn't fast. It was slow, mundane, and environmental friendly. It was the smallest car in Rowan Atkinson's car collection. It wasn't pretty much fast at all. It was a mundane suburban vehicle that families drive all around on mundane life. And guess what? This car was pretty much famous in other famous television series before Mr. Bean. But what do I mean by other famous movies? Well, the Mini Cooper has been featured in Jason Bourne's The Bourne Identity in 2002. There was also the 1969 movie The Italian Job and its 2003 remake. But most people never understand is that why was Rowan Atkinson, the famous man who voiced Mr. Bean, drove this, a Mini Cooper? It wasn't fast, it was subtle, it was gentle, it didn't feel aggressive, it felt undeserved. But most people really understand what the Mini Cooper was. It was small, but mighty. That's because the whole mighty Mini theory came from one movie alone, The Italian Job, the very famous Mini Cooper movie that portrayed the Mini Coopers taking on the French streets of Paris, driving through busy mundane traffic. There's another silly detail that many people have missed. The license plates, including the car itself, keep switching depending on which model. In the original Mr. Bean episode, we actually found out that his Mini Cooper wasn't really green in the beginning episode. No, it was a bright orange tanned Mini Cooper, particularly a 1969 model. However, during the last bit of that episode, the orange 1969 Mini Cooper gets destroyed off screen. We only see the tire fall out of that very vehicle. But what did I ever told you that Mr. Bean's car wasn't just a singular vehicle? Nope. It was 6 versions of this car. The license plate changes, the grille and engine patterns don't actually require physical psychology. The car itself switches in between shots, frame shots, and pretty much different camera angles. The car's interior suddenly looks canvas, but the next thing you notice, it now sports leather seating. Then there was the whole point of the Mini Cooper changing to different colors. But what most people never understand is that what color is Mr. Bean's car? Well, it's simple. It's British racing green with a black bonnet. And most people never understood the word bonnet, but bonnet is actually a British term for hood of the car. And what most people never understood is that how does anyone know what Mr. Bean's car actually looks like? Well, it's simple. The distinguished nature of the Mini Cooper is that Mr. Bean's car was always portrayed as a 1970s era fourth generation Mini Cooper, and that's exactly what the car looks like. However, most people weren't really sure what shade of green was used. Some say it was Scotland green or British racing green or BMW green, but the most iconic color of them all is Mr. Bean bright yellow green. This could likely be an alluding fact because in Mr. Bean's Holiday we actually see the car in a newer state. The Mini Cooper was originally right-hand drive, but look at Mr. Bean's Holiday adaptation of the Mini Cooper. The Mini Cooper returns, not the same green it always was. It was the Mr. Bean yellow-green color. That means Mr. Bean's car that we see in Mr. Bean's Holiday wasn't pretty much the same in the beginning. It was pretty much a aftermarketed version of the Mini Cooper. Namely, the Mini Cooper used in Mr. Bean's Holiday was not a 1977 model at all. It was a 1974 Mini Cooper S. That's right, the yellow Mini Cooper that you see in Mr. Bean's Holiday was not really green. It was yellow. But there was something else that many people don't remember. In Mr. Bean's Holiday, when Mr. Bean was picked up by Sabine in the car looks exactly different, but it was still the same shape and same design, same brand. But the one thing that many viewers actually caught was the Mini Cooper steering wheel was placed from right hand to left hand drive. That's because this Mini Cooper was made between 1974 and 1986. So that means the Mini Coopers that were used for Mr. Bean's Holiday were two versions. One was the original 1978 model, the other one was a 1986 model. Many people love Mr. Bean's car, not because it was quirky, not because it was unique. Most people find it very hilarious to find Rowan Atkinson driving such a small, tiny suburban car. But the one car that Rowan Atkinson disliked the most was the notorious Reliant Robin Supervan. Or should I say Reliant Robin? If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically this weird crappy station wagon car with three wheels. And it just sounds ridiculous. I do not like the name Reliant Robin at all. In fact, during most of Mr. Bean's driving moments, Mr. Bean's Mini Cooper can almost be seen harassing the Reliant Robin three-wheeled car. And what we found out next is practically the most disturbing part of Mr. Bean's life. The Mini Cooper gets destroyed by a tank. You might think it was harmless, but look at it again. You see the Mini Cooper crushed, mangled by the tank. When Mr. Bean stares at it, he ignores it, but looks back again. That's when your heart breaks in half. Mr. Bean's car is more than just a car. It's Mr. Bean himself. Mr. Bean never truly shows emotions, but what most people never understand is that how close was Mr. Bean's relationship with this car. Ever since Rowan Atkinson bought it, Mr. Bean became quite attached to the Mini Cooper's ideal appearance. And when the Mini Cooper gets destroyed, that's when people realize something sad. Rowan Atkinson lost the Mini Cooper when it got destroyed by the tank. But what others didn't know is that one piece of the Mini Cooper stayed exactly unharmed, and that was the padlock. If you guys don't know what that is, a padlock is a bolt lock that doesn't require a remote entry. No. Mr. Bean's car was always been locked by a bolt lock. A bolted lock that was welded onto the door of the driver's seat. And when Mr. Bean locks the vehicle, no one has ever figured out how to steal his car. Well, except that one time, that a car thief did manage to steal the vehicle, but only to realize something else. So, what did people find out what actually happened when the car thief tried to steal Mr. Bean's car? Well, it's simple. The steering wheel was taken out. And this is not really much of a joke, it's real. They actually removed the steering column of the Mini Cooper right off. And in fact, one of these minis were actually equipped with anti-auto theft, which is basically a body shell of the Mini Cooper with a working engine. But guess what? Although the car managed to work, there was another detail that many people never actually caught on camera. The Mini Cooper steering wheel can actually be removed. The creators of the show in the 1990s actually revealed to have unwelded the steering wheel from the column of the car to make sure that no one could actually steal it while filming on camera. This idea obviously works because the car thief managed to break the bolt lock of the door, gets into the car, starts it, but only to find out that the steering wheel was already gone. What makes the Mini Cooper so strange is that not only it became strange, but it became the most well-known television vehicle produced as a legend. The Mini Cooper of Mr. Bean wasn't just unusual, it's unusual in its own funny and comedic way. From a suburban car to becoming the car of a comedian, the Mini Cooper doesn't just aspire Mr. Bean, it's the real life representation of Rowan Atkinson's slapstick comedy and passion for cars. Imagine this, Rowan Atkinson with the Mini Cooper. That's not just automotive influence, that is automotive influence combined with slapstick comedy. And the Mini Cooper captures Mr. Bean's presence pretty much perfectly. From having changed its alternate body size and its appearance, interior changes, license plate registration changes, steering wheel configuration, gear shifting also changes. Mr. Bean doesn't just become a car enthusiast, he is basically the very guy that many people actually love about cars. And when it comes to the Mini Cooper, that's when everyone realizes something. They're watching a comedic man driving a small suburban car and made it the most famous automobile in TV history. And that is the story of Mr. Bean's Mini Cooper.